Mlicki, Gonzo, Tino, and Torre, plus Supermodels. All on today's episode of Baseball King Collectibles. Hi everybody, welcome back to the studio. I am the Baseball King. Welcome back to another episode of Baseball/Celebrity Autographs today, as we're going to do a little of both. We'll focus on some disappointments I had in my life as a fan, and some good moments I had as a fan. A little of both. And I met a couple of supermodels, 3 of them to be exact, and we'll showcase them at the in this episode as well, and we'll get to that in a moment. Let's start off with my disappointments. Big disappointment day was June 6, 1997, and it was the first interleague game between the Mets versus the Yankees. They played interleague games before they played the Mayor's Trophy game once a year in the 60s through 70s or 80s. It was for charity. And other than spring training games, they never met, other than a World Series, which they didn't meet neither till 2000. So this is 1997. And I believe it's 1997. And Dave Mlicki was on the mound. The first game ever, Mets-Yankees at Yankee Stadium. So what happens? He pitches he's a journeyman. He pitches a shutout. Nobody pitches shutouts no more now. 8 strikeouts. That was the game of his life. The best game he's known for anyway. It was like I said, he was a journeyman. He bounced around. So several teams. He had a nice career, 10-year career, but up and down, you know. But that day, he was spectacular, okay? And Dave Mlicki. There he is. Whoop. Yeah, that's him. There he is. So I got his autograph that night. That night. How did I get his autograph? The night. Maybe an hour or two after the game. Probably 2 hours. So this is how you get autographs, guys. Little secrets. Well, Mets and Yankees secrets anyway. After that game, they travel by bus. They come to Shea Stadium. Get dressed. Well, maybe they get dressed to the Yankee Stadium. I'm not sure. Some of them do. Some of them actually were in their uniforms. And they would just take a bus to Yankee Stadium. It was only a 20-minute ride. They'd be escorted by police. Okay, so they come back. Now, they got to come back also, right? So the smart collectors, like this guy, we knew after the game, an hour or so later, get down to Shea Stadium parking lot and wait for the bus. So I did it that night, and everybody's in a good mood. All the players are in a great mood. Who knows? I got like most of the team that night because they're going in, they're coming out, they're going into the cars. They were in and out all night. It was just, one of those happy mood guys. So it was great. So that's how I scored this Dave Mlicki on a disappointing night for me, but I didn't let the Met players know that. All right? And that's how I scored this Dave Mlicki. And, we got to give the Mets some love. So there you go, Met fans. Other big disappointment in my life. This guy. Oh, this guy. Big disappointment. This came a couple years later. After this was 4 years later in 2001 when this guy, playing for Arizona, got that hit off Mariano. And I immediately shut off my TV. Immediately. No post game. No. Immediately. I didn't watch nothing. Nothing. No spring training games. Nothing till the next year started. Just couldn't, wouldn't, and didn't. Just it was rough. All right. But Gonzalez was a good player. It was so it wasn't like a journeyman who just got a hit. He was a long time player. Matter of fact, Gonzalez, he was a 5-time All-Star. I got all written down. He was 3rd in the MVP. And his big year was 2001, of course. Was he pumped up? 57 homers. How'd that happen? 3rd in the league, only behind Ryan Howard's 58, which was okay. Ryan Howard was okay. He was 58. But Barry Bonds with his 73. Barry Bonds never even hit over 50 ever again. No, never. That was the only time he ever hit over 50. So 73. So he came in 3rd that year with 57, which he had 142 RBIs, batted 325. I mean, this was like a triple crown years for some years. How did he do it? I don't know. But he was great with the autograph collectors. That's what matters when I'm an autograph collector. Who cares what he does? Except when he hurt the Yankees that time. And like I said, he really had a great career, though. How many years? Oh, he played with the Arizona, the Houston, the Cubs, Dodgers, Florida, Detroit. He bounced around a lot. But, 19 years. Give him a lot of credit for that. And like I said, he was disappointing me. Gonzo, I still can't. I can't watch that clip ever again. I'll never see it ever again. All right, that's the bad moments. Let's get to some good stuff. The good stuff it's Tino Martinez. Let's talk a little bit about Tino. Look at Tino in a Seattle uniform. Oh, look at that. Why? How did I get this autograph? And why did I tell you how I got the... Yeah, I did. Where is it? I'm losing my thoughts here. The Gonzalez autograph? No, I didn't. Wow, sorry for the brain fart. But Gonzalez, outside of Shea Stadium, coming and going. You know, he was just great. He was great with the fans. Real good signer. Mostly took the train. So if you waited for him with the train, you had a nice long walk. You could talk for 10 minutes with the guys walking from the train till they went inside around the bullpen entrance of Shea Stadium. Anyway, let's go back to Tino. 1996 January this was. He just got traded. Just became a Yankee. So there's not even photos available of him yet. Nothing. All right, so this is an early autograph for him. This is one of his first autographs as a Yankee player. Member of the Yankees, but there was no photos. There was no cards. There was no nothing. So I had to settle for 8x10 of the Seattle photo, which is fine. It's better than nothing, right? I'd rather have this than an index card. So this was at the Yankee Fan Festival, 1996. It was, 1996, right before he was traded that winter. And Yankees had a fan festival every winter from 1990 to 1996. That was their last year because after 96, they took off and didn't need to have fans get together to try to promote the team. So they were still promoting the team, and they bring back all the old-timers. There'd be 30 to 50 old-timers, another 10 current guys at least. It was all day from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 at night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Javits Center where they had the Fanatics Festival this year was held. So it was just incredible. You know, you get there early, and of course, everything is free. Like I said, the Mlicki was free, the Gonzalez is free. Of course, everything's free. Remember that. Free. I don't pay for autographs unless I have to. I'd have to wait online for a Hall of Fame or something like that. I've never paid for an autograph otherwise. All right, getting back to Tino. You know, so I got his autograph back then on that one of those. He was one of the guests that day. You know, the Yankees brought him in to introduce him to the fans. So it wasn't a long line for people who didn't even know who he was, really, you know. But traded for Mattingly, that was tough, you know. Getting traded for Donnie Baseball, and now all of a sudden you're on the Yankees. And he didn't start off that great, you know. He really didn't. He started out poorly. He was getting booed. You know, he's taking over from Mattingly, you know. This is not just any other guy you took over. It's like when you take over Vegeta, you know, a little bit like that. Mattingly was just an icon, and as soon as Mattingly left, the Yankees took off. Boom! Tino took off, too. His career really rocketed with the Yankees. He had 5 tremendous years with the Yankees, which was good enough to get his number retired, you know, so thankfully for that. You know, but Tino also had a nice long career. You know, he was around a long time. He played after the Yankees, before the Yankees, of course, with Seattle for 5-6 years before that. Came up in 1990. Oh, he played, and as a matter of fact, 97 is a big year. He went 44 homers, 141 RBIs, and he was second in the MVP. Second. I don't remember who won it that year. Probably somebody on Cleveland, like Albert Bell maybe or something. Not sure. You could check that. Let me know. But after the Yankees went to Seattle for a stop or two. Seattle. Didn't go back to Seattle. He went to St. Louis for 2 years. Yankees let him go, you know. And then he went to Tampa Bay for a year and then back to the Yankees. And he was over. It was over from by that. You know, he was just bouncing around, just trying to continue his career. It was hard. Some guys just lose it quick. Some guys just have great years, 32, 33 hits, and it's hard. You know, but I give him a lot of credit. He was a good Yankee. He overcame the boos, and he became a fan favorite, and his number retired. So, Tino Martinez at the Yankee Fan Festival, January 1996. And our next guest up is a Hall of Famer. And I was first in line at that same 1996 Fan Festival. I was first in line. I was the first one to get this man's autograph at a show, or in New York, as probably at, you know, in a environment where there was people around. I'm sure he signed in restaurants and things like that. But at a show where everyone was waiting for him, this guy, Hall of Famer Joe Torre himself, and he put on there MVP 1971, which he was, of course. But there's no pictures of him in a Yankee uniform yet either. This was January 96. Who knew what the future was going to be? Ever since with Steinbrenner managing, who knew? He could have been one and done. He could have been a half a year and done. Who knows what could have happened with Torre, right? I mean, think about it, you know? Thank God it worked out. Well, for me as a Yankee, unfortunately for you guys, but not Yankee fans. Still hating us, but that's okay. It's all baseball, and that's all good. And again, free. Online, the first one online, and I had a couple other cards signed that day. And I met Torre many, many times over the years. And when he was manager with the Cardinals and the Braves, he used to come out after the games, you know, and he'd walk in the parking lot to his own car and drive off. So he was great. He was just great with the fans. He'd sign it. Especially, he knew I was from Brooklyn because I told him, Joe, I'm a Brooklyn guy too, just like you. He goes, oh, where you from? Blah, blah, blah. You know, we talked a little bit. Once you're from Brooklyn and you talk to somebody else from Brooklyn, it's a bond. Instant. I don't care where you are. If you meet somebody from Brooklyn outside of Brooklyn and it's years later, later from when you lived there, it's a magnet. So Torre was very friendly to me. I saw him many times. He always, he recognized me every time, signed for me every single time. Never a question. And not just me, everybody. He was just really good with the fans. And, before that, when he was a player, he had a great career. Forget about his managing career. We all know what he did as a manager. But what did he do as a player? It's really incredible stuff this guy put up. If you think about what he did, he came up in 1960 as a rookie, I believe, 61 with the Braves. Let me see, I got it written down here. I got to make sure I want to get these things right. I don't want you guys correcting me in the comments saying, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So, go to my Cliff Notes, all right, a little bit. Torre was great. He was a 9-time All-Star. He played 18 years. Yeah, it's a long career, Milwaukee, Atlanta, of course, Braves moved to Atlanta back in the mid-60s, 66, 65. Oh, then he went to St. Louis. He got traded from the Braves. The Braves thought he was washed up, pretty much. It was a trade for a washed-up player for another kind of washed-up player, they thought. They traded Lionel Cepeda. The Cardinals traded him to the Braves for Joe Torre. So Joe Torre the year before had an off year, a bad year in 68. They traded him in 69, off year. So did Cepeda, who's coming off his 2 good years, MVP in 67, 68. And then, the Dodgers, they just felt he was getting old. At 30 was old in baseball. Cepeda had a couple of bad years from like 66 to 65, 60. You look at some of the numbers, he had some injury years, so he was off and on, but he still made it to the Hall of Fame. And so he was traded for another future Hall of Famer, which was Joe Torre, who was also coming off a bad year. So it's kind of like a wash trade for both. Maybe they both could rejuvenate both of their careers. Cepeda didn't. Well, he did. He had 2 decent years with Atlanta, and that was it. But Torre, wow, he had some big years. He had his best years with the Cardinals because in 1970, that was his last year catching. Did away with catching. No more catching. He slimmed down over the winter because they wanted him to play third base. They wanted his bat in the lineup every single day because he was playing a little bit of third in 1970, but they wanted him full-time catcher. 71 switches to full-time catcher. What happens? Best year of his career. Great year, not a best year. 230 hits, 137 RBIs. He hit 363. Imagine Joe Torre hitting 363. He was a pudgy kid. When he came up, he was I don't say pudgy, whatever. He was a catcher. So he had a little bulk to him. So, which most catchers did back in the 60s, is they were not running. These guys were all slow runners. They were just good defensively, but he could hit. So they had to get him out behind the plate, extended his career, and he never caught another game after that. If 1970, he never caught again. And he went on to have just a fabulous career, and he wound up with the Mets his last couple of years and his last year he was a player manager. 77, I think it was 77, player manager with the Mets. Yeah, and he had a great career. People don't realize that. He's borderline Hall of Fame career. Numbers, but no, he's just had a great bat, and of course, managing career. We don't have to even talk. We don't have to. You guys know, all right? But the guys who haven't seen Torre play, I saw him play, and it was just a wonderful career he had, So, and then he went to managing, and then he was in New York. He was a Brooklyn guy, but he was outside of Brooklyn all those years. Then finally, he hit the home run of his life with the Yankees, and he became iconic. And he's still in baseball working for MLB, which is unbelievable. He's in his 80s, right? All righty, up for 3 sexy ladies, guys. You ready? We have our swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated from 1990. Ooh, I can't see that. 94? Okay, 94. Wow. Pretty good one. Whoops. The JSA. We have Rachel Hunter. Love. I think she loved me. I don't know. In that picture, she don't look like she loves me. But we got Elle and we got Rachel Hunter. Rachel Hunter, Elle, and Kathy Ireland. All right? And they were great. All 3 of them, all separate times, not at the same time, because, it's impossible. And getting a project on like this, it's hard to get it complete. I got a lot of with 2 people on, I got some with 1 people on. Getting all 3 is hard. Getting 2 is hard. Getting 3 is just almost impossible. But how did I get these guys? I got Elle in the City outside the show. I got Kathy Ireland. She was doing a signing a perfume or something in Macy's or something like that, one of those places. And Rachel Hunter, I got at the airport. She was married to Rod Stewart at the time, and I think Stewart was, I don't remember, they were all traveling together. I think we were family together. I got Stewart that day too. Yeah, a couple of times. So I met each one of them. This was the only time I ever got each one of them. So I was lucky enough to fill this up. This is a pretty good one. I've had this in my collection since, all these years. And it is for sale, guys. Anybody's interested, let me know. Here's the JSA. No, it is for sale, really, honestly. My wife has it up in the store. We are selling some things. We have to, because I'm running out of room. And, hey, you know what? I got my photo with some. I got the JSA. So this is real. You know, like I said, I had to bring it to somebody to tell me it's real. And the only reason I do that is because I'm going to sell it one day. If you can't sell it without, if I didn't have this, I get lucky. I get $100 for it. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't even think of buying it. Somebody might, but never know. So took this JSA, got it certified, and that's it. So, you know, that's it, guys. I tell you, getting free autographs, it's so much fun. It was a lot of fun. You should do it. Try it. Well, if you live in an area where you can. Unfortunately, I live right in the heart of New York, where everything's going on. Baseball, we got basketball if I wanted to. Hockey guys are great too. And all the sports and all the celebrities are in New York, and all the shows in New York. It was so easy. And, you know, we got the major airports in New York where they're coming and go. So New York was a big advantage for me as an autograph collector. But I'm glad you came, guys. I'm glad you subscribed. I'm glad you're back. Keep telling your friends, tell your neighbors. We need more subscribers. Keep the page growing and growing and growing, and come back again and continue this journey with me on Baseball King Collectibles.